It is Friday, November 27th, 2015, the day after Thanksgiving. This is Radio Tokyo. I'm Jonathan, and with me again, because I can never get rid of him, is Nick. And how are you, Nick, today? I was going to ask you something else, and I completely forgot what it was. So, I guess we'll forget it for now, and you just, tell me how you're doing today. In fact, tell everybody how you're doing today.
I'm good. I ate delicious food yesterday. I'm pretty sure what you're going to ask is all the delicious food that I had yesterday, because what else is there to talk about after Thanksgiving other than all of the delicious food that we gorged ourselves on?
Well,
Let's see.
I didn't yesterday. Ours is supposed to be Monday, and I'm probably going to skip so I can go watch it, so I can watch Gotham. No offense to my family if you listen to this. I just would rather watch Gotham than listen to screaming children and have conversations that no one ever cares about.
You are anti-American, sir.
I do live in the South, so
That makes sense.
speaking of living in the South, I'm still listed as a member of the Sons of Confederate Veterans. Now, I'm overwhelmingly inactive. I haven't done anything in nearly 10 years now. But I still get emails from the FCV, and there is a campaign going on right now in San Antonio, Texas, to get a school to not change the name of the school. Now, as much as I want to talk about that, I would rather talk about how they sent out the Thanksgiving proclamation yesterday, and it was, of course, it was well, it was not really just nationwide; it was worldwide, because there's people in the SUV who live in other parts of the world right now. But they sent out a Thanksgiving Day proclamation, and I was like, why are you telling everyone happy Thanksgiving? It was started by Abraham Lincoln. What is wrong with you people?
Because I don't know. It's American now. Maybe they've accepted that they're part of America now.
No,
Maybe.
no. There are some people who are like, I haven't surrendered yet, and it's true. I certainly haven't surrendered, but you know what? The war ended 150 years ago, and I was born 33. I think probably it was over a long time before I was even bothered to worry about surrendering it.
I think it was over before your grandparents thought about surrendering. Possibly.
Probably.
Yeah. Anyways. So, well, since you don't have any delicious food to tell stories about, I do. I had turkey, I had lamb, I had green beans, and I had squash that was kind of like
I have World of
potatoes.
Warcraft Legion to talk about.
You can wait a second, damn it.
No, look.
And,
Look.
and my mom is an excellent cook, and thank you, Mom, for cooking and taking the time to cook. Also,
Look,
thank you to
look,
Evie for
Nick.
helping her cook.
You
And
are
thank you
not
for...
prepared!
I am prepared. You're the one that's not prepared for Thanksgiving, clearly.
You
are not prepared.
You, sir, are not prepared to talk about Legion. You don't want to talk about World of Warcraft Legion.
No. You are just anti-American today. I am confiscating this show. I am declaring you a communist, and we are kicking you out of the country because you're clearly Hispanic, and that's what Donald Trump would want.
Says the man from Mexico. But no, you just don't want to talk about Legion. You just don't want to talk about Demon Hunters. And actually, you know what? Screw Demon Hunters. Screw everything else. I want to talk about something. It's actually it's actually what I was going to ask you about. Do you remember a while back when we did our BlizzCon coverage and we were talking about how Blizzard had announced that gnomes were going to be hunters and everything?
Yeah.
You remember the prediction that I made about that?
Remind me, sir.
I need to remind you about gnome hunters and what it was I thought they were going to be able to do.
Tame mechanical pets?
Yes! It's amazing! gnome hunters and goblins, gnomes and goblins, will be able to tame mechanical pets. They will start out with one. It will be a racial talent for them. It's amazing. Now, see, uh,
And the one other, also other races can do this, but I believe they have to be engineers.
no. You don't have to be an engineer. But it will be a learned skill. Now, it will help to be an engineer.
No. I mean for
Hang on.
humans.
I'll get in a second. But I want to talk about how cool this is for a second. Okay, gnomes and goblins this is a racial talent for gnomes and goblins. You will start out
That is
with
the
a
most
mechanical pet.
adorable mechanical animal I've ever seen.
Yes. That is the gnome starter pet. That is a little uh robot bunny rabbit. Um, on uh, on the tweet that was sent about it, the screenshot, it had a little robot chicken. Now, it's not known how goblin hunters will be able to get theirs in their starting area, but they'll be able to tame one. Uh, but like I said, it will be a racial talent for gnomes and goblins. Gnomes will start out with one. Goblins may have to tame one. I'm not sure. But the lowest level one that I know of that will be able to be tamed. Now keep in mind, all mechanical pets, no matter what they are, whether they're now this is me theorizing here, whether they're mechanical raptors or dragons or whatever the hell they are, um, all those mechanical pets are going to be challenge tames. So whatever level you are, when you go to get one, it will be a challenge tame. Okay, the first one that I know of that you can tame, other than the Robo Bunny, is in Nomergan, and it is a goddamn Mechnostrider. You'll be able to tame a specific
What?
Mechnostrider. Yes, yes, uh,
What?
yes,
So I can
yes,
ride on a Mechnostrider while having a Mechnostrider.
yes, and you can have a baby Mechnostrider pet.
This this is the stuff of dreams.
It is.
I will buy Legion if for no other reason than specifically this.
It's actually pretty badass when you think about it. Now I'm one of those people who likes to have matched pets on my hunters if I can. Like I have to have, well, I like to have like a mount pet and a companion pet for my hunters. And thinking about this is like I can be a gnome on a Mechnostrider, have a Mechano pet, and then have a Mechnostrider fight beside me. That's cool. That is the gnomish. That is the most gnomish thing I can possibly imagine. It's like, okay, for example, I have a Goblin Hunter. Okay, uh, model Goblin Hunter, of course, is an engineer. So I run around on model Goblin and I'm throwing grenades and shit at people because it's like what you would think a goblin would be like, and I love doing that. So to me, like a gnome is like gonna have to be an engineer. There's no way around not being an engineer as a gnome. Being able to throw bombs and everything. But it's cool to have little mechanical pets, and what they're going to do. Oh my god, it's amazing what they're going to do. The pets, like I said, it will be in Nobergen. I don't know exactly where, but in order to tame this creature, you have to do one of those little punch cards, like you used to have to do in Nobergen. So you have to assemble a punch card from shit you loot or whatever, or you craft it. I'm not exactly sure, but you have to go there. You have to activate it, and then you can tame it. Now, there's other ones around the world you'll be able to tame. I don't know what they are. I don't know where they're going to be, so don't ask me. Uh, but it's amazing. And one of the theories that came out about this is that engineers, because engineers can make pets, maybe that's what it will be. Like maybe you'll be able to craft like a mechanical dragonling or something like that, and then like boom, tame it. So you're gonna have something that's essentially like a critter, like the Cogblade Raptors in not Netherstorm, Blade's Edge, stuff like that are critters that you can tame, and it's like, look, there's a pet. Now, see, there are mechanical creatures out in the game world. There are quite a few of them. There's some in Shadow Moon Valley and Outland. The mechanical scorpions that are by Black Temple. You can't tame them now. They don't look any different than other scorpions, but you might be able to tame them. Uh, I don't know. I really don't know. But the fact that that you're going to be able to tame mechanicals as a gnome or goblin as a racial talent is amazing. But like what you said about it being something that other hunters can learn to do, yes, you'll be able to do it with a thing called Bechamine synchronization fluid. The use for this is now this is crafted by engineers, and this is the most badass thing World of Warcraft has ever done, ever in the history of ever. And that's talking about a lot of badass things that have been put in this game lore wise. The use for this is inject thousands of tiny nanobots, allowing you to tame pets in the mech family. Okay, gnomes and goblins are now going to have nanobots in their blood system, like in their
This
bloodstream, and then other hunters can do this. It's like the Borg. I'm gonna have to make a gnome hunter or a goblin and name it Borg and run around screaming that resistance is futile with my robot pets. I love it. It makes
this
me
brings me
it,
unbound amounts of joy. I'm sure my day is made. My week is made. This is yes. This is yes.
oh, we'll see. Like when I found out, we were right. They were gonna be able to, when we discussed, being able to have mechanical pets. When I found out that was confirmed, I was like, yes, yes, god damn it, yes, vindication at last. I was right again about something else, and like that is the coolest thing to be right about. But Blizzard has just overwhelmingly, like, they have gone out of their way to make this cool. Fucking nanobots, like originally it's supposed to be gnome hunters, and gnomes are going to have mechanicals. Okay, that in and of itself is awesome. I like that. And it's like, we'll make it goblins. And I was like, damn, I even said they might make it for goblins. Okay, but now everyone
I
gets to
mean,
have one. Everyone gets to
it
have one, and you get to do it with nanobots. It's like, oh my god.
it makes sense, but well, I mean, I almost kind of wish they let it just be gnomes and goblins, but I can understand why they would want to let everyone have it. And I definitely understand why they gave it to goblins, because it would be unfair if this was just an alliance thing.
Well, see,
But yeah, this is really cool. I am
I
yeah.
I actually secretly wish that Blizzard would not open it to every hunter. I really do. One of the reasons is during Mr. Pandaria, you were able to able to tame a dire horn mount, and you had to do a specific. You had to go kill all those dinosaurs on the Isle of Giants in order to be able to get the book to let you tame it. Okay, that opened it up to every hunter. So beast mastery hunters would go after that because I'm sorry, the dire horns are really fantastic pets. They really are. They're really good pets to have. Um, Now they may not be better than a spirit beast most of the time because a spirit beast can heal, but a dire horn did a lot of damage when they were first introduced, and so you saw every hunter go get that. That shit's unfair. Uh, to me, it was the hunter. I was like, I don't really want to have that. Like I don't want to have to go feel that in order to keep current, I have to go tame this pet, no matter what whatever spec hunter I'm on. Okay, but I still did it anyway. Now this, I'm like, I kind of understand why they would let every hunter be able to do that because it would seem like it's unfair. I've had a blood elf hunter since vanilla, or an elf hunter since vanilla. Why should I have? Okay,
Well,
here's the thing.
another problem might be depending on the skills and abilities of the mechanical pets, it might be unbalanced if the other hunters don't have access to them too.
Well, so what? Really, who gives a damn? Beastmasters currently are some of the most powerful hunters in the game. Now, that's excluding specifically excluding marksmanship because marksmanship's good, but for movement and versatility, marksmanship is screwed. They don't have a lot of movement, but because when you stand still, that's when you increase your damage. So on fights where you're standing in one spot, you're good. If you're questing and you're leveling as marksmanship, you're probably going to die. Uh, now that's if you don't have a pet, and most marksmanship hunters that I know will not take a pet because they want to have that raid wide boost from not having a pet. Which, by the way, that's going away. So all you hunters worried about that shit's going away. You're not going to get to have, like the mark of the wind serpent or whatever the hell that you have right now. That's gone. That is dying out in Legion. They're doing away with that entirely. But like I said, currently right now, Beast Mastery hunters are the highest damage hunter you're going to. It's at least the highest damage I've seen. And I personally, I have not been a big Beast Mastery player since probably Wrath of the Lich King, maybe around there. Even though it was late Burning Crusade, early Wrath, where I got switched on to being survival. Every hunter I have played since Wrath of the Lich King has been survival. But this expansion, because of the changes, like initially my hunters, and I've got like 3 or 4 of them. Initially, they started off all being survival. Well, I switched one to being marksmanship, and I like playing marksmanship. It's fun. Another one I have kept survival. It's fun. Uh, but the hunter I play most right now is currently Beast Mastery, and it happens to be my little Goblin hunter. And I got the Spirit Beast that you get for the Draenor. It's a fantastic quest. If you get the chance to do it, please do it. But I really like playing Beast Mastery. So I'm wondering if Beast Mastery is going to be this way, what's going to happen when they add in mechanical pets, because they're not going to be spirit beasts. And beast mastery uh, hunters are supposed to do well with spirit beasts, it's their thing. They get spirit beasts now. So now we're going to have mechanical pets. So like, how am I going to do that with my little hunter?
Is there gonna be a spirit mechanical pet?
That actually would be cool.
Maybe.
Actually, you know what would make a damn good mechanical spirit beast?
But
Elegon.
hmm.
Think about that. Think about it for a second. He is essentially a robot. Now he's more like an interactable hologram, but you kind of see. I don't know. Like it makes me wonder like what it's going now. Granted, I know uh classes are going to be changed up. Like survival is going to be able to get like a pike or something like that, and then marksmanship is going to get a bow, and then beast mastery is going to be, I forget what it is that you get, but
I'm
it's
really wondering how good a melee hunter's gonna be.
well, having played a hunter that had the melee, way back when, because I'm old, apparently. Uh,
Well, I mean,
it
yeah, but I
wasn't too
mean in
bad.
a modern setting.
Yeah, it used to be. Actually, I remember during Natramus, being bitched at on Kel'Thuzad. Actually, I was on my hunter, and I was helping out. I do not remember this person's guild. I'm sorry, but they asked for some help with running next run because they were missing a DPS. I was like, okay, I'll go on my hunter. I got bitched at because I was trap dancing. Now, a lot of hunters by this point in time were not aware of what trap dancing was. Well, they were, but it had kind of fallen out of style apparently. For those of you who don't remember what trap dancing is, this is before you had trap launcher. What you had to do is you had to run in, drop your trap, and then you had to get the fuck away. Okay, so what I would do, we were on Kel'Thuzad, and I was shooting Kel'Thuzad, and I needed to lay a trap. So I ran in, dropped my traps, and I just ran on through. And I got bitched at because he was like, well, you're going to pull thread away from him. I'm like, no, I wing clipped the son of a bitch, and I got away. I know how to play a hunter. I'm not stupid. And he's like, well, you could have pulled it off the tank. I was like, no, I feigned death as soon as I got away from him. I did everything right. Like, at this point in time, we had misdirect and feign death and wing clip and everything else, and that's what I did. Like, I'm comfortable being able to get in melee range as a hunter, but most hunters are not going to be comfortable doing that because that's not the current playstyle. It's like, here's trap launcher, fling a trap, and then you just stand there and shoot, and it's gotten
Well,
lazy. So
my thing
I
is,
really don't see
if
a lot of
it,
people playing survival anymore.
well, no, my thing is, are they going to be full on melee and not? I mean, like, are you going to be throwing the spear?
You will
I'm
be full
really
on
curious
melee.
about what's going to.
You will be a genuine melee class. You're gonna have a pet, and you're gonna melee. Now you may be able to jump back like a ranger and do like a finishing shot from ranged. I'm not sure, but there will be no actual mainstay ranged weapons for survival hunters anymore. You're gonna have a spear and your pet, and that's it.
It's gonna be interesting, definitely. But yeah, I mean, most hunters play hunters to be ranged, but giving them a melee option maybe some people like that.
I don't know.
Plus, it does add a lot of necessary variety to hunter.
It does, and with most of the changes that Blizzard is doing with Legion, their intention seems to be to make every class and spec be distinct. Like everything is going to have its own special thing. For example, like we discussed, Retribution Paladins, you're going to be able to teleport now. That's cool. You're going to be
Yes,
able to freaking teleport.
yes,
That's awesome.
yes.
Uh,
Yes, and just like last time we talked about, I can finally teleport.
and that's going to help because Ret
I've been
Paladins.
wanting that. You, you don't understand how long I've been wanting that. Since the very first time that I played Retribution, I've wanted the ability to either, to catch my enemy. That's
Well,
all I've
see,
ever wanted.
well,
And
see
now
here.
I
Well,
have
see,
it.
Retribution Paladins are really, really good. I, I've been in dungeon runs where the Ret Paladin has been, like highest damage. I have seen it in LFR. Hell, I've
Yeah,
seen it.
when you
I,
group with me.
I have even seen it on Doom Lord Kazak. It's impressive.
When you group with me.
No, I mean like in general. But it's impressive the damage that Ret Paladins can do. But on movement intensified fights, they suck. They really suck,
Oh yes.
and it drops their damage. For example, Kargath in High Mall, you have to move for that, and it drops a Ret Paladin's damage for that. So the idea of like, look, I can teleport to where I need to go. That's cool. That works for me. I can get behind that. Uh, and then you're going to have, like, for example, demonology warlocks are going to be summoning swarms of demons, not just one demon, but swarms of demons. Like it's going to be like a continual thing. Now that's kind of what it is right now with Imp Swarm, but you're going to be able to summon, I think, like two of your primary demon you're going to have, and you're going to have like swarms of other demons that are going to show up for X amount of time. That's amazing. Like that is demonology in it. Like you're controlling the demons, and I get that. But the drawback is that you will be losing metamorphosis. Now, a lot of demonology warlocks, like myself, because I play demonology a lot now, which I haven't done since like Wrath, by the way, but I've been playing it now. Uh, it's fun, and I like doing metamorphosis, because you get like the demon wings, and you can jump around, and it changes abilities. That's going away because we're going to already have demon hunters, and demon hunters, by the way, officially this is established, they're not humanoid, they will be demons. Okay, demon hunters will be classified as demons, so you're already going to have that, so they don't need to have demonology warlocks becoming demons, and that makes sense. It really does.
Wait,
But
wait. Does that mean that some of the priest abilities and paladin abilities that work on demons will now work on demon hunters?
I would assume so. I could be wrong. Uh,
That
now
would be interesting for PvP.
now for gameplay purposes, Blizzard may go ahead and make Demon Hunters classified as humanoid, which is fine, whatever. But if they don't, that will be like it used to be against. Okay, for example, a paladin coming up against a Forsaken up until probably Wrath, like early to mid Wrath. Your abilities against undead would just fucking slaughter a Forsaken player because they couldn't counteract it, and then it had to be changed. So if for gameplay purposes like PvP, uh, demon hunters are going to be classified as humanoid, I can definitely understand why. I can definitely understand why.
Yeah, I mean, be it'd be weird if we could use some of those abilities on demon hunters in PvP.
But then again,
Unless, Unless
Then
the demon hunters are just gonna be so OP that you almost need those abilities to counter them, which also might happen.
Well, see, that was what I was going to say. It's incredibly likely that all those abilities that we have that do more damage to demons and whatnot will stay there and will actually affect demon hunters. Because demon hunters are not losing their abilities for PvP. You know, like the double jump and everything and be able to see through walls, shit like that. That's not going away. That's going to stay for PvP. Demon hunters are going to be overpowered as fuck in every setting you put them in because they have near godlike abilities. And Blizzard did not want to mess with that. They wanted demon hunters to have that ability, like that uniqueness. They're like, we're not going to nerf it. Now, of course, when the PvP community starts bitching and moaning about it, I'm sure that Blizzard will take a nerf back to them and just beat the shit out of the class, and that's
Like
fine. That's
with
their
Red Paladin
prerogative, you know. But they do that all the time. They particularly do it to warriors. Now, it didn't really. I didn't notice
and
it.
Red Paladin.
Yeah, and I didn't really notice it until I started actively playing my. Now, of course, my warrior's protection, so I didn't really worry about it. But one of the first things that really messes me was making protection, making tanks no longer viable in PvP settings. Okay, I have no interest in PvPing now, but as a demon hunter, yeah, I might want to go to a battleground because I'm going to be, you know, like God on a battlefield here. Like I'll be able to double jump and double, you know, jump, double jump, and then shoot laser beams out of my eyes. It's like I'm a badass, and look, there's a gnome over there. I'm a demon hunter. Dump, double jump, eye laser, teleport over to him, and stab the little motherfucker before he can have his little robot chicken come on me. And it's cool. And I have seen Demon Hunter gameplay. Panzer from Trade Chat played the did a playthrough of the Demon Hunter starting area at BlizzCon. Go to her channel, look it up. It's amazing. She giggled and was all happy most of the time because it was like it's so cool. It's like jump, double jump, eye laser, and it's cool. They're they're a really interesting class to watch to play, uh, but their abilities seemingly are not that hard to learn. Apparently, if you're used to playing something like a rogue, you'll be able to play a demon hunter easily. Like it's like that. I play an assassination rogue, and the mechanics I've seen for demon hunters are not too far off of how it is I tend to play my rogue. Because you get like shadow step, and you can do like the death from above thing, and that seems to be a lot like what demon hunters are going to be, and that's cool.
Yeah, I mean they look they're gonna be fun to play, and I I expect a lot of people to play them. Just like when monks came out and Death Knights came out, they were really unique and really fun to play, and I have the same expectations here.
My worry is that this is all we're going to see. Now, then again, unlike certain classes like the monk, for example, you're not going to be able to have like an entire dungeon group or maybe even a raid made up out of monks because holy shit, I remember that. I during Mr. Pandaria. Now I didn't ever really. I wasn't very big into raiding during Mr. Pandaria. I did LFR a lot though. There was times where that's what you would see. Monk, 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 like that. That's all it was. Multiple dungeon runs, and I'm talking low level dungeons up until high level ones. Monk, 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 monk. Like that's all it was, because they could be tank, healer, and DPS, and it's
Well,
insane.
yeah,
It's
because
insane.
demon
Uh,
hunters they're not gonna be healers
well,
unless they think they're gonna be strong enough they can just overpower all the fights, which possibly they could.
they could initially like the monks are really good for being able to overpower things. It's sort of like Death Knights were, like early Wrath, where you could take 5 Death Knights. It didn't matter what spec you were, and you would not. No one would die in the dungeon.
Yeah.
I remember doing Hellfire Ramparts with with 4 Death Knights, and we didn't die. We had no problems at all. We were able to run through this shit with like 2 of us being tanks, tank leaning, whatever. It was cool. But monks could do that same thing. Now the problem with monks is uh, their fist weaving is going away. So no more melee monk heals because no one ever plays it right anyway. It's actually impossible between the levels of around 50 to 90 anyway. It's impossible. So that's going away. But
Hmm.
before we get too far off into discussing stuff in Legion, I want to say right now the rest of this is going to be spoilers. Okay, the reason I'm saying spoilers is because there's okay. We all know there's going to be changes to Legion, all right? We all know there's going to be changes to Legion. But Blizzard has announced that uh, to put this as simply as I possibly can, the world will burn. Okay, so from here on out, spoilers. Just keep that in mind. Spoilers.
Spoilers.
In fact, if you're not watching this live right now, uh, if you see, like our little live graphic where it's got Diana and it says Radio Token and stuff like that, there's your point in time. Anything past this is spoilers. That's all you're gonna get. Like this is the only clue you're gonna get, and that's gonna be in the description of the video when it's edited, for further viewing. But like I said,
I think
the
we
rest of
should
this is
make
spoilers.
we should make an image with like spoilers pasted across that.
Probably. I don't know. But like I said, spoilers from here on out. And we're gonna go with let's see. You know what? We'll go with the biggie one here. Like I said, Blizzard has announced that Azeroth will burn. Okay. Now whether this means that cities are going to be destroyed or towns will be destroyed or what, I'm not sure. We do know that Gul'Dan is going to fuck shit up. Gul'Dan, by the way, is getting a new model skin. I don't have an image of it. I wish I did. It's called Hulk Gul'Dan or something. I don't remember how it was phrased. But like he's huge now, like, and he has much larger spikes. He looks like a badass. But we know that he's going to go to the Broken Isles, and he does succeed in opening the portal. Okay. What you saw in the cinematic, where you see the demons marching through, that's kind of a taste of what we're going to get. There will be new demons. There will be new demons. There are these floating, uh, ethereal ghost-looking type things. The gargoyle-like
We
demons are
already
showing
saw
up.
the flying bat like stuff.
Yeah, those they have a name. I managed to find it the other day, but I can't remember what it is. But like, there's gonna be the ghost things, and apparently they're gonna work in trios. There'll be 3 of them, and there'll be those new demon dogs, the ones that you see on Draenor up in the throne of Kil'Jaden. Like the fell hunters up there. Those are showing up. There's going to be darker ones of those. There's going to be the cat-like mounts. By the way, the cat mount that I told you was in the demon hunter starting area. Yes, that is the demon hunter racial mount. Uh, there's the giant infernals. There's all these cool things, oh, excuse me, coming out in Legion. So we're going to be seeing all these demons, showing up and kicking people's ass, and that's cool. But what's going to happen is apparently very very early on, and I'm talking end of the initial walkthrough, well, the starting area type thing. Uh, Actually, it may be before we even go. It may be before the players actually show up. But we all know from cinematic, Varian Wren is there. He was on an airship that crashed, and he starts fighting his way through. Uh, just like I said, spoilers from here on out. Varian Wren is no longer High King. Varian Wren is no longer king, and it's not because he abdicated. It's because Varian Wren dies. Uh, that may change. I kind of hope it will. I have a secret hope that this is not what's going to happen. But
I
all signs
I've
for
heard some people speculating that maybe he's missing in action, or another speculation that we have to go up to the what was it? not Storm, was it Storm Peaks? To
I think that's something else.
Valheim, and we can resurrect him there, possibly.
Oh no no no
I'm
no
not
no no
really.
no 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 no. The Valkyrie and stuff like that are going to show up in the Broken Isles. But this is like a pure. This is like an uncorrupted version of them. Uh, but there are going to be people who are apparently are going to come back. Now the reason I'm saying this is a lot of lore characters uh, from Anduin Lothar. Uh, I'm actually trying to think of who all might show up. Yeah, Magni Bronzebeard. A lot of lore characters that we know are long since dead are apparently going to show up in Legion. I
I'm
don't
so happy Magni is back. I am so happy.
now see. I don't know if Magni will be resurrected or not. Uh, but in I forget where it's called. Hotenheim or something like that. I don't remember. Anyway, there's okay. You're going to have the dungeon type thing. Okay. Now it's theorized what we're going to see is an Anduin Lothar and King Lane and everything are going to show up like they do in Caverns of Time, or rather Ulduar. That's possible. But we know that this is essentially like an afterlife type place. There's a lot of death uh, related stuff in Legion. So it's presumable that maybe these characters are in the afterlife, like they're essentially in Valhalla, and that's cool. I get that, but I don't know. Like I said, Varian Wren is slated to die. So and of course Anduin becomes king. Now whether Anduin becomes High King or not, I don't know. He might
See,
not wind up becoming leader of the entire alliance, but he will.
see, this would be it would be very weird to me if they made Anduin into High King, because a lot of the other alliance leaders are much more experienced military leaders. Um, almost all of them, from Jen to Tyran to um um the 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 Council of Three Hammers for the drawers, uh even High Tinker Mechatork. I mean, uh Prophet. Well, I would never see Prophet Villain being the military leader of
Valen
the
is a military
Alliance.
leader. If if you're familiar with the lore specifically for the Draenei, Valen is a military leader. He is unquestionably a military leader. And now we're talking about someone who has had thousands upon thousands of years, like longer, maybe even millions of years of military leadership, longer than Tyrande has ever had. Now Tyrande,
That
of course,
that's
is,
true.
but but here's the thing: if Anduin becomes king, I'm fine with that. I I've kind of gotten to like Anduin. Uh,
I
I really have.
don't get me wrong. I like Anduin. I really do. I mean, he's been really cool through Mists of Pandaria. He was pretty cool. Well, I mean, he didn't really get to do much in uh Draenor, but I mean, they've built his character up quite a bit. I do like him. I do want him to eventually be the High King. I think he would make a great High King. But it would just seem really odd to me if suddenly all the Alliance leaders just go, okay, Variant's dead, now you're High King.
Well, see, okay, my reasoning behind this is, and regardless of whether Magni comes back, regardless of whether we're able to resurrect Varian or whatever, the humans of Stormwind are the leaders of the Alliance. Like from the time that the Alliance was founded, way back around the time of the First War, you had the humans winning it. The High Elves and the Gnomes and everything else, and the Dwarves would show up and would become part of it. But the humans have always led it. They have always had more humans in the Alliance's armies than anyone else. They have always been the first to show up. They're the leaders. So that's why Varian is High King. And that's why I think there's a decent enough, area here. There's enough wiggle room, essentially, to say that Anduin will become High King. Uh,
Yeah, and I mean
Now,
the other alliance leaders do like him. I don't think he has any problems with any of the alliance leaders. They all admire him and do respect him, at least to some degree.
but see, like, okay, the other concern here that I have is what about Gen Greymane? You know, like what could Gen Greymane do? Because he is physically inside Stormwind. He doesn't stay in Darnassus where the rest of his people are. He is in Stormwind. Uh,
Well,
Gen Greymane
I've
would
heard
be able to
someone
step up.
saying that Jen Graming has been acted as the new Bolvar, in advising Anduin. I'm not sure if this is true or not, but it would make some amount of sense.
Well, see, my problem is, and this is their other big spoiler type thing here. Um, Apparently the Horde is getting a new war chief. Uh, Now those of you who are are watching this right now, you're seeing a certain person on screen. We're not going to say their name. We're just going to skip past this person, and we're going to go to what apparently has happened. And what apparently has happened is that Vol'Jinn is missing in action. We don't know where he's at. We don't know what's possibly happened to him. But given that one of the, well, actually, this is not really a question of common concern here right now. One of the shaman weapons, the artifact weapons, is the Doomhammer. The current wielder of the Doomhammer is, of course, Thrall. Well, if all these weapons of all these known lore characters are being picked up, that means they're likely dead or they gave up. Okay? There's really only a couple options here, but since we know the world's going to burn, since we know that this is the point in time where it's put up or should up for everybody on Azeroth, I'm I kind of believe that Thrall will die. Um, it's not the I've gotten to where I don't like Thrall because of the events of Draenor or the Draenor. But I'm not going to say I'm not quite ready to see Thrall die just yet. Uh, but if he dies, okay, and that makes sense why you pick up the Doomhammer. Okay, I understand that could possibly happen. Vol'Jinn dying, on the other hand, I have a problem with. I like Vol'Jinn. He hasn't gotten to do very much since Mr.
Well,
Pandaria, where he was made war chief. Uh,
the weird thing is that Vol'Jin just vanishes, and according to reports, he isn't in the attack on the Broken Isles. He's just gone, and I'm really wondering what's going on with that.
well, see, Vol'Jinn does show up on Draenor. If you play Horde and you do the invasion of Canaan, Vol'Jinn does show up. He's there and he'll talk to you. Uh, what happened after that, I don't know. Uh, there's a theory from Novel here on YouTube who said that maybe Vol'Jinn has gone off to get the other trolls, like the Gurbashi, the Mani, whoever hadn't all been murdered already, what's left of them, to come and fight. Maybe that's what he does. I don't know. But Vol'Jinn disappears, and Thrall is possibly going to die. So what the hell's going to happen? Who's going to step up and take control? And that's where we go back to the person that we named or didn't name earlier. Uh, and again, spoilers here. Uh, Sylvanas apparently gets the title of war chief. Apparently, she becomes war chief. Now, whether this is temporary or it's permanent, nobody can really say. But the Psycho Bitch from Undercity is going to be leading the Horde. And when I say Psycho Bitch, please understand, I'm saying that with all the respect and love and admiration and devotion I can give to the Banshee Queen ever. Okay? Uh, Apparently, what happens is something gets fucked up. I don't know. I don't know where and when. But the Skyfire, or it may be Skybreaker, I'm not sure. Which is what we thought that Varian was on, the airship that crashed. Apparently, something happens, and Nathanos Blightcaller attacks it, and you follow him, and Sylvanas launches the plague at the ship, and Sylvanas is using the plague again. Okay, keep this in mind. Sylvanas is using the plague like it's like who the hell's gonna stop me? I'm War Chief. I have the Horde behind me, and she just starts using the plague. Now we don't know whether she uses it entirely on the Alliance. We don't know whether she uses it on the Burning Legion, but at some point in time, Sylvanas does start wielding the plague actively. Uh,
This would be it would be something has to happen on the Skyfire that would make her attack it because it would be the weirdest thing in the world for them to have that scene where she saves Varian, or at least, tries to save Varian. It seems like the Horde and Alliance are cool, and then just out of nowhere, Sylvanas starts attacking the key flagship of the Alliance. It would be, I can't comprehend how that's going to work out.
well, see,
Unless the demons have taken over the Skyfire or some other weird thing is going on.
I'm gonna have to go read the quest line again, but apparently it. I could be wrong. Apparently, it involves Gin Greymane. Now we all know that the Forsaken and the Worgen have a lot of hostility. We all know they are not exactly best friends. So if I'm correct and Gin is involved in this, it kind of makes sense that he would be upset. Now whether he fires on the ships Avance is on, I don't know. I don't know exactly what happens. But apparently, Nathanos Blackcollar, and those of you who are familiar with Forsaken War will know, he's the champion of the Undercity. Okay, he is the big badass. Okay, uh, now if you did the original Plaguelands quest line, you had to kill him. You had to fight him rather. But he had like the plague dogs. He would summon everything. But now he is in Undercity. Okay, and he's still on as a
I
champion.
I also wonder if because back in the original Alliance quest lines where Bolvar would send you out to kill him, and that was one of the biggest Alliance quest lines, honestly, or at least storylines, of going to kill him. Will we not see him? Um,
Who Bolvar?
no. Will we not see Naphanos attack? Are they gonna do it like two separate storylines, or will he have actually survived the entire thing?
Well, currently, Black Collar is still alive. But apparently, what happens is he attacks an Alliance airship, and some shit goes down, and people die, and I don't really know everything that's gonna happen. But it's kind of interesting to think about it.
Yeah, it's I mean, we'll have to wait and see what happens, but it would just be really weird if the Horde starts attacking the Alliance while they're in the middle of the war with the Legion.
It would be, but it's not as if the Horde has ever
It's
not
not as if
attacked
that
Alliance
hasn't
before.
happened before.
I don't know, Wrathgate,
Yep,
Ice Crown,
yep.
Grizzly
The Horde
Hills,
has a habit of doing this,
Jade Forest,
which is kind of why the Alliance doesn't like the Horde.
which incidentally, by the way, all of these places, every damn one of them, seem to have involved Garrosh Hellscream. Every one of them,
Yeah.
which is kind of cool. But of course, we know Garrosh is dead. But speaking of the Hellscream family, apparently Grom Hellscream shows up in this expansion. Now, I do not mean the Grom from Warlords of Draenor, or as he was called there, Gromosh, which I I have a problem with calling him by that name. The reason I have a problem with calling him by that name is because in orc lore, actually in orc culture, you don't use an orc's name. Like you don't ever call him Gromosh. You call him Grom. It's like Broxigar. You don't ever call him Broxigar. You call him Brox. Like it's an orcish thing. So to try, apparently, I guess to distinguish uh, Hellscream from Hellscream, they're like, well, this is uh, Gromosh and this is Grom. So we're gonna have Grom, actual Grom Hellscream show up. The one who's long since dead. So yeah, apparently he shows up somewhere too. So Magni may come back. Adam and Lothar may come back. Bolvar, by the way, another huge spoiler here. Bolvar is coming back. Okay, he will interact with Death Knights apparently. Now, whether this is just going to get his blessing, which I'm aware that you're supposed to for the Death Knight quest line, or the other possibility that I know of, which is this is the most amazing thing. He becomes the faction leader for Death Knights.
That would make sense and be awesome, and would be really cool if he led a faction against the Legion. That would be amazing.
It would be cool. That would be the most amazing thing ever. But it makes me wonder. Well, okay, here's the thing. We know that he's frozen to Flash Crown Citadel. Okay, we know that, and we all know that Death Knight. Well, Frost Death Knights have to go collect a piece of Frostmourne. So that means the shards of Frostmourne are still up there. Because apparently the Argent Crusade did never bring them down. Now, it would have made a lot of sense to have done that, to destroy them. But I kind of get why they're left up there. But the problem is that means that uh, the throne up there, where all that stuff is, has been left unguarded all these years. Unless there's guards
Well,
staying up there. Unless, the Argent Crusade is like, hey, we're going to leave a permanent guard here. So that means they're staying up there in Icecrown for
well,
years.
I imagine that Bolvar is guarding it. I mean, he's frozen, but he's still supposed to be in control of the undead.
Well, he is because that's why the plague lands look like they do. Like he was able to pull them back and whatever, and that's awesome. But what's going to happen if Bolvar, wanders off and leaves? Like what's going to happen if he becomes actively involved in leading the Death Knights?
Well, I mean,
What could possibly go wrong here with
oh,
someone
I don't know.
controlling all of the undead? What could possibly go wrong?
Well, I mean, Bolvar is essentially the new Lich King. I mean, he has the helm. It was never. It's always been, at least in my mind, established that Bolvar is the new Lich King. It's simply that he's a more good Lich King, I guess, to put it that way.
But see,
Or a Lich King that doesn't want to destroy the world, maybe. We
here's
hope.
where it starts to worry me. Okay, Bolvar is the Lich King. We all know that. Okay, so what's going to happen with Lich King Bolvar? Well, there's the very very distinct possibility that all the Alliance and Horde dead are just going to be raised into undeath. It's like, look, motherfuckers, I'm tired of you. I'm tired of you doing all this crazy stuff. So what's going to happen is he'll just, raise all of the dead and to fight the Legion.
He could. I mean, yeah, doesn't he have the power to do that? Or does he need Frostborn to do that? I'm not sure exactly, but huh? I can't hear you. Eh,
Sorry about that. Okay. Um, yes, he can raise the dead because he controls them. So I'm thinking what's going to happen. He'll be like, look, all these dead right here. I'll help you, I'll raise them into undeath, and then we'll go attack the demons. And that makes sense.
I mean, they might need it if the Legion invasion is as bad as they're saying, which is part of why I'm really confused about why Sylvanas would attack an Alliance ship. Apparently they're going to need literally everything they can get their hands on in order to
Well,
beat the
see,
Legion.
okay, here's my thing. We all know that the Forsaken cannot reproduce. We all know that can happen. So maybe theoretically, War Chief or not War Chief Sylvanas is aware that the Death Knights are now going to help, and that, oh look, there's the Lich King. Maybe if I just go murder him, I'll be able to control the dead now.
Now that would be really interesting and would establish her as the Lich Queen that we've always suspected she would become.
Well, see, part of that is if you read her write up on the Legion website, it talks about how it's a battle for her soul. So either she's going to become really good or really evil, or I don't know. But see, like here's something: the way she's been set up right now, she's incredibly evil, and that's cool.
Yeah.
But I kind of want, like, there's all kinds of possibilities that could happen with Sylvanas. But like, really, I think the only larger concern than a possible war between the Horde and the Alliance at this point in time, like the only thing I can think of that's really worse than that is what Gul'Dan is doing. Like generally, how big of a threat are we looking at here from Gul'Dan and the Legion?
Supposedly much. Apparently, the biggest threat since uh, Deathwing, because Deathwing was just going to simply obliterate the world. So I mean, that was
Okay, let's see.
I mean, the threat from the Lich King, the Alliance and the Horde launched a preemptive attack. Honestly, so that threat never really built up to what it could have been. Uh, I mean, there were various threats in Classic, but none of them were that terrifying, other than, just a lot of death. Um, the Burning Legion, I mean, yeah, but we pushed through and invaded them. I mean, Legion seems to be the biggest threat there possibly can be.
See, the reason I bring it up is there is another aspect to all of this that's going on, and the concern is, uh, like I said, how much of a problem are we going to be facing from Gul'Dan? Now, the reason I'm asking is, at the end of World of Draenor in Hellfire Citadel, you attack Archimonde and you kill Archimonde, you know, and it's like, okay, well, apparently now I have not done the fight in LFR rig or whatever yet, so I don't know. I can't speak from experience. But apparently, the reason Archimonde dies is because you're supposed to fight him in the Twisting Nether. Okay, now the Nether is where a demon can actually die. Like, you can't actually kill them on Azeroth or Draenor or anywhere else. Like, they have to die there. But Blizzard could not do this accurately the way they wanted to. So that's why Archimonde comes back out and he looks over at Gul'Dan and he's like, Gul'Dan, you made a pact! And he flings him into the portal. That's why that happens, okay? Now, Archimonde is dead here, but Archimonde has also been killed a long time ago. So
Yeah.
it raises a distinct question for me. How much of a threat is the Burning Legion going to be? Now, I know, we're supposed to be having, the Death Knights being released, which, by the way, is very, not Death Knights, I'm sorry, Demon Hunters being released, which is very interesting, because who releases them, which is Maiev Shadow Song. Maiev of course, as we know, is alive. And we know Illidan's alive, and he's been being kept in a prison. But MEOW has promised to never, ever release Illidan. She's promised to never, ever release the Illidari. She said that she will die before they're ever released. So we all know this is a threat. Of course, with Cordana Felsong, well, now being Cordana Felsong, she's been corrupted by the Legion and warlords. How big of a threat are we going to face? Now, like I said, if all these forces are coming together to fight the Legion, this is just an invasion. What could possibly happen next? Because we know if we can't kill Archimonde here, and we can't kill the demons, which, by the way, is the explanation for why a warlock summon the same demon over and over again. Whenever they die on Azeroth, their spirit is still out in the Nether, and they just coalesce back into that demon. That's why you summon the same demon over and over again. Okay, but we know if we can't really kill them, what are we going to do? How fucked are the people of Azeroth?
I mean, I imagine that until well, if we're using that logic, any demon that we kill on Azeroth is simply going to go back to the Twisting Nether and then just pop right back out the portal. So
That's
unless we
right.
can close the portal, there's a never-ending army of demons coming through.
That's
And of
right.
course, you have to worry about, just, Sargeras, you know,
Well, see,
which,
here,
that might happen one day.
here's the interesting part about Sargeras. We know he has been physically wounded. We know there is one character in all of Warcraft lore, Brox, who was actually able to wound him. But he had to do it in the Twisting Nether. He had to wound him there. So we know, yes, Sargeras has been hurt by a mortal. Uh, does that mean that maybe Brox will come back at some point in time? Maybe he's still out there in the Twisting Nether somewhere. Maybe he'll come back. I don't know. But like I said, it raises a concern here. If we know, and this is going to establish it, that we cannot actually kill the Legion here, how bad are things going to be? Because if you remember back to in Mr. Pandaria, um, I just forgot his name. The little dragon prince. I forgot his name.
Chromie? Or, oh no, the prince guy?
Yeah. What is his name?
I, I can't, I can't remember.
Anyway, point being, he prophesies the destruction of Azeroth by the Legion. So the Legion's invading, and we know they're going to invade. Like I said,
Yeah, and
how
his idea was to, unite. He said that the Alliance and the Horde did not unite completely, that Azeroth would burn.
and see that raises a question because Blizzard has said that Azeroth will burn in Legion. They have announced Azeroth will be burning in Legion. So
Which means, supposedly, that Varian should have actually conquered the Horde.
probably, but see, a an, another concern that I have with this is I just went blank here for a second. I'm sorry about that. We suck lately, forgetting all these things. Um,
I, you're the one that's supposed to remember the names. I've always been terrible with names. That's your job, not mine.
well, no, I was gonna make a point, and I just it just slipped my mind. Anyway, we know that uh, the Horde Alliance is supposed to work together and everything. Uh, you know, I don't think I'm going to remember the point I was going to make. I really don't. I
Eh?
really honestly don't.
Well, I mean, well, at least from what I can see, what this means is that even though everyone said Varian made the right choice and that, to leave the Horde alone and let them be the Horde, if we're really this fucked over, then Varian actually made the wrong choice. And he actually should have conquered the Horde, which would be weird. But yeah,
I don't know. I mean, it's not as if we don't have, okay, with alpha invites already going out, and the projected release date going to be in September. It's not as if we don't have, enough time to where we can, try and figure out with more information what's going to happen.
yeah. I mean,
But
there's obviously this is just very early spoilers, very very
it
early.
it is now, some of them are actually, I I'm willing to say this. Everything we've discussed is actually likely to be changed, and that's cool if it is. I'm okay with that. But we do know that since we're going to be seeing a lot of character deaths and a lot of destruction and everything, it wouldn't surprise me if certain things like Varian dying stay in place. But like I said, if the game comes out in September, we've got about a year here to figure out what's going to happen. So maybe things will change, maybe they won't.
Yeah,
But anyway, I think that's probably going to be it because we are actually over an hour now. And we try and aim for an hour for our shows. So that's going to be it today. I think. What do you think, Nick?
yeah, that sounds good. I hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving. I hope that you're going to enjoy the weekend. Try to work off all the food you ate. You know, stay healthy. Everyone
Those of
have a great time, great day.
those of you who ate food, you mean?
Yes, those Americans that ate food.
Yeah,
Anyways,
yeah,
goodbye,
yeah,
America.
yeah.
I love you.
Ungrateful colonials that you are.
Yes, 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 yes. You, Southerners.
Da da da
Strange
da
thing.
da 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 da.
Goodbye,
Oh
everyone.
no, wait. I forgot. I'm not British. I'm supposed to be Southern. So da 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 da
Yeah,
da da
you,
da 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 da. That is the worst version of Dixie. I can do so much better. I'm sorry, but yeah,
yeah, you be ashamed of yourself.
yeah. That's gonna be it today. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. If we spoiled anything for you, I'm sorry. Remember, things are actually subject to change, and you had a humble warning that we were going to discuss it. So, please remember to like this video, comment on it, share it, subscribe to our channel, uh, like us on Facebook, and we'll talk to all of you on Monday. And yeah, that sounds good to me.
Alright, everyone. Goodbye.
Bye, everybody.